to end this Sunday with a fifth game, and we'll watch that fifth game right after this commercial break.
Heroes of the Storm. Get a Heroes Legendary Loot Chest included with Twitch Prime. Rated T for Teen.
When I was young, I lived a life of recklessness. In my selfishness, I inflicted pain and hurt those I cared for. I have learned many lessons in my struggles with doubt and fear. Balance and harmony are not easily attained. They must be fought for! But on my journey, I have learned another lesson. You do not have to fight alone.
Let's do this! Woohoo!
all the way to a Game 5. Not a bad way to end your Sunday here in EU HGC, as we're going to have a Game 5 between the good guys and Team Expert. And it's been a ride.
Yeah, it's definitely been a ride and a rough one for Team Expert, but at the same time, I appreciate that they were able to come back swinging in game number 4, and if you want to be one of the best teams in Europe, that's what they have to do.
Yeah.
It's okay if you have a bad game every now and then. If you fall a little bit behind, that's fine, but at the same time, you have to show that you can simply ignore that, focus on the next match, and say, we still got this. Well, they haven't won it yet.
Yep.
But at least they're showing some signs of life here, and they're going to make it difficult for the good guys to cause an upset today.
Well, Game 5 here. Battleground number 5 of this Best of 5 series is going to be on Towers of Doom, chosen by Expert.
It's an Expert special, but we have the first pick for the good guys.
That we do. Caldor, do you leave the Medivh band? With it being Towers of Doom.
No. You ban him.
100%. Don't even leave it up.
Yeah, I would just ban him again. Medivh is one of the heroes, like, AD already has a lot of these heroes, and especially on Towers of Doom, where he in the past played Vikings as well. He has more of the heroes that can change a game, but Medivh, in my opinion, is one of the heroes that can throw a massive curveball if he's played properly in a good composition, and this is something that they showed over and over again. Now, the priority on Medivh in the series on Tomb is explained more so through the early Diablo pick, because they wanted to have the combo, but it was just the full setup with Medivh as one of the linchpins that put the strength in. I would, against ADRD, in this situation, not roll the dice. I would ban him out just to be on the safe side. I believe that Expert, or that the good guys can deal with anything else if they get a good draft and if they play that straight up. But Medivh, I personally would just say I'm not comfortable going up against ADRD's Medivh and the way that Expert plays around these portals.
I mean, you did touch on the Vikings as well, something that we have gotten from ADRD. It's one of the battlegrounds where there's 3 heroes that he plays very well that is very strong. I mean, he has his Chromie, he has the Vikings, and then, of course, he has that Medivh.
Yep. And I have to just say once again, guys, since this is going to be the last map that we are going to see this weekend, how happy I am to be back in the studio here with HGC League play. It felt a little bit weird to have the last weekend off. I'm not going to lie to you, I was a little bit bored at some point even. And right now we are back, and this weekend was just absolutely fantastic. Fnatic versus Dignitas was a treat to watch. The Salads against Team Liquid earlier also absolutely fantastic. Now we're seeing the good guys with a 37-minute game on Battlefield of Eternity, victorious against the Experts, forcing Game 5. I'm happy to be back.
And the good news is we still have 4 more weeks after this, too. We'll have the next 4 weeks chock full every weekend of us here being here with the HGC every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So make sure to follow and continue to be here, man, because the games will keep rolling on in.
Exactly. And if you haven't hit that follow button on Twitch just yet, then make sure that you hit that thing hard, because we have a lot more of awesome Heroes of the Storm every single weekend right now. And with the standings and the way that they are currently unfolding in Europe, it's just bonkers. It's absolutely insane how we already, on our first playdate back in business, are looking at teams talking about BlizzCon, the HGC finals there, how we talk about playoffs, and at the same time about the Crucible. There's so much happening here from the get-go. It's awesome.
And the best part of it, too, it's not just EU. We have Korea and North America. You have 3 regions to watch just on this channel, so hopefully you've been enjoying it. Let's go ahead and kick it off here. Team Good Guys.
Just think about for a second about MVP Black. They have already 2 3-0 victories in their region. Now, they got spanked a little bit at the Eastern Clash. Not quite what they expected, but Rich and, like, they immediately, Sake, Rich, when they were talking to me, were saying, like, BlizzCon.
We got to put work in.
Yeah, we're going to put work in. You will see at BlizzCon we're going to be the best. And I am really excited to see what they can do over there. So in all of the regions, there's so much stuff now. Roll 20!
Yeah.
6-0 this weekend.
That was the point of the clashes, to be a check-in stop to see where you are as a team. MVP Black realized they're not as dominant as they wanted. They got a fire lit. Roll 20 didn't even make it to the Western Clash, and they were a bit salty about it, and they came out swinging. And then Fnatic realized, if we don't have Dignitas around us, maybe we are that dominant.
The LOL 20 memes were there for a reason, but now Glor and his boys are coming back swinging, and they are looking strong. But of course, here in Europe, we have now to find out if Expert, after attending the Western Clash, can win the series against the last team in the standings. TGG starting things off with Oriel, but immediately Expert says, you know what, Towers of Doom, you already picked Oriel. We know what you're trying to do here. They pick away Vala and they pick away Illidan. Look at this draft already. Just check out that first rotation on the side of Expert. Vala, Illidan. A week ago, you wouldn't have seen that.
No.
But now against the good guys, which have very clearly signaled which type of composition they prefer, Team Expert says, if we pick that away from them, they're going to struggle.
And we'll see if they will struggle. In game number 5, Team Expert is willing to bet that they will struggle so heavily they pull it off in game number 5 where they have to earn a win. Team Good Guys answers back with a double support and a Cassia, Rhaegar.
And this is just the beauty of best of 5 systems with teams that play each other on a regular basis, because you start to not only see meta picks and bans, it's not only about, okay, what's currently the strongest, it's about what does my opponent excel with, how can I push them out of their comfort zone, and that's what Expert is currently trying here. And the reaction from the good guys is, with Cassia, they're trying to counter Illidan, and they're also heavily targeting now the supports. Rhaegar taken together with Oriel is a massive amount of sustain on the side of the good guys.
Now in terms of bans, Team Expert needs to think about what warrior they don't want to deal with that could be coming their way to help bolster out that Cassia. Who can get them into a spot where they peel enough where Cassia can keep kiting backwards and dealing with that damage coming their way. Do they want to get rid of the ETC? Do they want to keep the Anubrak away? If I'm thinking about BKB, I think I want to leave Anubrak up. That might be a little bit on the mean side, but he does get a little bit too aggressive and gets out of position. They're going to go ahead and ban ETC.
Yeah, ETC already... Yeah, was he? I don't even remember if he was involved in every single one of these games, but we had bans twice now from Expert and also Pickup. I think he has the 100% involvement rate by now. Only map, I think on Tomb, I'm not quite sure if we had ETC there.
Yep.
We did as well, right?
In every single game here, he's been banned out or played.
So he is just skyrocketing right now in priority. Well, let's see how the good guys react for now. I'm really curious to see how they're going to try and handle it. Expert can put so much pressure onto the top lane in particular with Illidan that I feel the good guys need someone that is able to deal with that.
Team Expert, what support will they be moving into? With Illidan here, on the way they've picked him, they can leave him by himself and be in the hunt and just go for a solo support. Uther is still up and available, but Team Good Guys have to consider what band they want to go with.
Yeah. I mean, there's always also arguments to be made that with Illidan, if you are only running one support, you can go into Metamorphosis over the hunt. Right now, it's unlikely that we see that, since you also are trying to run that global. But against Cassia, sometimes that might be a smart choice here. But it really comes down to the supports, and this is something that the good guys identified as well. Keep in mind that also Abathar is still available. That's one of the things where you can argue that, okay, if we get a support in, plus Abathar, we have enough to keep Illidan alive, especially after Soma transference as the talent on level 13. So I wouldn't be shocked to see Abathar here. He's a great pick for Towers of Doom as is. We have seen that being utilized already a lot, and it would work extremely well with Illidan in particular.
What do you think about Abathar Tyrael?
Tyrael is actually something where I'm not quite sure if I would go that far, but Tyrael with the Sanctification would of course be pretty good for these team fights. Tyrael, I'm always a little bit skeptical these days. He's much more popular in the Eastern meta than he is here in the West. We've seen Fnatic play him in the series against Dignitas once with great success there as well. But we have a Thero on Illidan, so I don't really think... I would rather see Bad Benny on another Mobile for front tank. On Anubrak, I like him a lot more. Fulfills a very similar purpose when he wants to engage, doesn't have the Sanctification panic button, but I really think that Anubrak to just drive those fights is a little bit more their style.
I've seen good guys thinking about what they want to move into in the past, but would be the Stitches against the Anubrak, as we would see BKB try to catch him as the Anubrak disengages from the fight. But I think I'm leaning a little bit more towards Zimmerden. You're able to get a little bit of tools there to help out with the Illidan coming your way. You can also drop down the Storm Bolts to help your Cassia get the peel on the backward side, and you allow him to be himself, which allows for the Oriel and the Rhaegar to keep Cassia alive.
And Meridian is a hero that we have actually not really seen as much this weekend as I expected, but against Illidan he definitely has a lot of tools available. But keep in mind there's also Arthas.
True, there's one.
And Arthas is actually taken. Okay, so Arthas is definitely going to help keeping Illidan a little bit lower. The last pick, this is the pick that I'm extremely interested in, because I'm not quite sure how they're shifting this at this point, but I would still say up to the top lane, who is it gonna be? Or are they going for double tank? No, they go for the Haka. Okay, so that's where they have their global against Illidan then. Alright, so a lot of good tools, good lockdown. If they can chain lockdown and then capitalize with Cassia on it, then Illidan is going to have a rough time. The silence is going to help a lot, so I think Stukov from that backline can provide a lot for these battles. My question is still, are we going to see an Abathar with this? And at this point, I actually doubt it more and more, considering how long Expert needs to really make that decision.
This is ADRD's hero.
Yep.
No matter how you spin it here.
I mean, the heroes that he has actually played the most, we've seen him a couple of times on Chromie. He has played double supports, but all of those are already taken away. We have seen him occasionally on Greymane. He has played Genji at some point. But all of these heroes, when I look at it, it's Chromie.
Helpful against Cassia.
Yeah, Chromie is the one where, yeah, I think this is a bit of a rough choice, really. I think Abathur would have been good. I think they might have been, not with this setup, without Illidan, they could have potentially gone into a Viking comp. I mean, think about the pressure that they're under right now for that 5th map. If you make one silly mistake here, all of a sudden the series is lost. So they go for Chromie again. And I mean, they have a lot of good stuff. It's a little bit reminiscent what they are playing right now. Not quite, but it's like a few of the elements that they had in their first draft are there. So Chromie, it's going to be rough for... it's going to be pretty rough for TGG to actually get into Chromie because Dukov is always there. He can always just flail them away then later on. I don't think we're going to see Shove on this map. So you can keep Chromie safer. She needs to be careful of the Haka, I assume. But still, if you put the time traps into good places, you should be able to make that, to play that safe. And the rest of the team, if they get a good stun lock up, then we've seen already earlier how much damage and how good ADR actually is with this.
Yep, Dahaka is the biggest fear, but again, they were probably check and say, okay, Stukov, if you keep me alive here, don't let the Dahaka get here, Chromie can be fine, Vol and Illidan will do their thing, work on the pressure, Illidan gets in the back line and really tries his best to shut down that Oriole and the Rhaegar. So, in terms of compositions, Team Expert looks pretty good. It will come down to bush control. It's very important to make sure that Dahaka can't come in for that flank and disrupt everything on the back line, because their back line is a bit squishy.
Yeah, but I still think that right now they have... who will win, TGG or Expert? I guess we're going to get an update through the series. So, guys, this is a good question right now. So there's no hindsight 2020 here. They have a few more moments to just jump over to Twitter and at HGC Esports to let us know who you think is going to take it. So participate in a poll. I'll just assume there's one up.
Yeah, there's a live poll up right now.
And then I want to know in the game what you guys think. I say... As much as I enjoy what TGG is doing, I feel that after the last game, Expert now has enough momentum, enough confidence, and enough, guys, get your act together right now. We need to win this. We want to go to BlizzCon, that they will close it out with a 3-2 victory.
Let's find out, man. It's time.
Oh,
no. No, it's time.
No, We're
going in.
Your prediction.
Team Good Guys versus
Josh, if you throw to the game, I'm getting mad. What's your prediction?
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna go with Expert. I'm picking Expert.
All right.
Let's go ahead and go into it. Game number 5 here. Team Good Guys versus Expert. Towers of Doom. Josh is upset with Caldora, man. Delaying production?
What do you mean upset?
What is this guy doing?
You delayed it. I'm the one that just wanted an answer. All right, boys. It's the 5th map. The Good Guys going up against Expert. And for TGG, it's Kronos on Oriel, Raid Boss on Rhaegar. We have Xay on Cassia, Antihero on Arthas, and BKB on the Haka.
On the right side, in the red, it's Team Expert. Bad Benny on a Nubarak, and Nick playing Vala. A Thorough on Illidan, ADRD on Chromie, and Stukov will be played by Kursen.
Yeah, and look at Raid Boss, actually. You know, he has to play the doggy here. Pushed onto Rhaegar. Didn't quite expect that. I actually thought that Xay would be the one to jump on the second support again, but he is the Cassia player for them. So they have a bit of a switch up there. In the meantime, we have the arrow build already started up for Vala, so Monster Hunter, indicating that we're going to see a bit of a focus onto those pumpkin seeds for them, trying to make sure that they get that in play. And a nice push at that bot lane. Look at the Good Guys here.
Oh, but BKB's in trouble. Does he live? Yes, he makes it out just barely. But the turrets themselves getting cleared up by Team Expert. And we're going to have a trade and experience here. But the favor goes over to Team Good Guys as they get 2 turrets.
The question is, can they move out before they're getting flanked by a Nubarak? Because he wants to go in for them. And, yep, looking good. So overall, still a good start for TGG to get a second turret compared to what Team Expert was able to achieve in the mid lane. So a very nice start for them. And the early stages here. Well done.
That it was. Illidan against Dahaka in the top, a matchup that we continue to watch over and over. It's a matchup that I'm starting to keep my eye on more often because I'm not sure which one wins a victory. You hear from a lot of players, they feel like Illidan gets the advantage, but if you have a Dahaka that is very efficient with his tongues and gets to that level 7 pretty well, he starts to beat out Illidan pretty good at the same time if he's able to control the waves. So it's quite a skilled matchup, it feels like.
So 42% say TGG take it, and 58% at this moment are in favor of Team Expert. I think the poll is probably open for a little bit longer and we might get an update here, but this is still pretty even at this point. Slight lead for Expert, but in this case, TGG has actually taken a little bit of an advantageous position, taking also the earlier camp now, as we have 3 altars activating on the map.
Yeah, this is one of the things that you can do really well with Arthas. If you're able to group as a unit of 4, he does a very good job of invading your opponent. If you have the backup of a damage dealer, with Cassia being here, they're able to walk straight into the mercenary camp, and Team Expert will be unable to actually fight away.
Yeah, that was a really sneaky play here on the side of the good guys. Well done, stealing the camp away, and of course they can put the pressure onto the bot lane. But when it comes to the altars, a very slow rotation from Arthas up to the top, as they are trying to make their own altar play. And that could actually result in Bad Benny just arriving in time for an interrupt. He's trying, and Illidan is also on the way, and I think they're going to get it.
This is one of the spots where usually Chromie can be very strong, delaying their opponent from grabbing it, but ADRD decided to go ahead and poke Cassia instead. They're going to go ahead and allow for the 2 shots to go over to Team Good Guys.
Yeah, just barely getting the channel through at the top lane. So Good Guys with a lead. Nothing too crazy here yet, but also opening up the bot lane, which is really important here. So right now, we have 36 to 32 points on the core, and we have the level 4 talents in play. Mala working, of course, on the arrow build, as mentioned before, can now start to stack, and is currently at 10 extra damage. But the rotations are starting to become a little bit more aggressive, as the good guys are looking for potential kills.
And they need to. I mean, just look at what Team Expert has. They have 3 squishy characters. I would even consider a Nubrak squishy enough if you can land that Howling Blast and make sure to interrupt his burrow charge. Move forward, be aggressive with your lineup. Do offensive, aggressive shot calling. However, Team Expert finds the Dahaka and he gets blown up.
Yeah, that ragdoll gets thrown off the screen.
Dinosaurs can fly nowadays, it looks like.
Yeah, exactly. Hollow bones. That's the secret.
Oh, hang on. That Benny gets hit against the wall. Howling Blast as well. Does get out with the burrow charge. And luckily, Nick will have a Volt, so he does get away while Chromie pushes bottom.
Yeah, but the kill was definitely a good one. And the Thero is now in a spot where he's trying to take the camp. But guess who's back? It's the Haka. Problem for him is there's a 4-man rotation coming his way. So I don't think he's going to be too happy here.
Oh,
that looks very much like he's going to die again.
He is. When you come in with a Brush Talker and you don't have Essence, if you have 3 people coming your way, you can assume that if you don't miss out on the CC with your tunnel or your burrow, you are going to get picked off. And that's what happened there. BKB with 2 deaths.
He died twice and they're losing out at the top lane, but to be honest, the reaction at the bot lane isn't too shabby either. Getting both of the camps, since they know that there's 4 heroes up top, is pretty good. And because Thero had to finish the camp at the top lane still, that actually kind of helped them a little bit here. So that could have been way worse for them. In the end, it works out kind of nicely. If they get now maybe even the structures at the bot lane, it would be even better. But thanks to the silence, this works really well. Silencing the pumpkin camp to make sure that it doesn't explode into the towers.
That's right. They stop the running animation if they run into that silence. So there we go. The Sapper's being stopped. Team Expert able to clear it up. 1 altar available to the far south. This Team Expert's going to go ahead and set up. Watch out for these time traps and Bad Benny. They're the ones that will control. And if we have a moment where we have Arthas hit that Howling Blast, we're going to go in.
Straight into the time trap. Nah, does not quite hit the drag on Anubarak. But yeah, so the burrow straight into the time drag, but at least it forced Expert off the channel. So now we're having an even bigger lead for the good guys, 36 points against 28. But the trade-off is, of course, Illidan dominating the top lane since the Haka moved away. And that results in a bell tower claim this early on in the game.
Which means that Team Good Guys at some point will have to put some resources in that top lane to break it back and get it back, which should allow for Team Expert to push on the bottom side, especially on the next mercenary camp. So Team Good Guys may leave it exposed for the moment and work on clearing mercs and then go deal with the top lane.
I have to also say that it's kind of impressive how strong Stukov just on this map is, with simply the ability of controlling the Zappa cams a little bit better. That silence, just disabling the ability to explode into towers, is so incredibly strong. Also, every single time Stukov is actually being taken down, every single time we've seen Expert with a solo Stukov, they switch their level 7 round. Oh my god,
wow.
Nick! Wow, gets away, and then Thero might even escape too. Not quite, as the death call hits him hard in the face, and Anubarak is also eliminated. Seems like the good guys had some really solid breakfast this morning. That's a pretty impressive triple kill that you just performed.
Definitely ate an apple or two, as they got a 3-for-1 trade-off. Team Expert still hits level 10 thanks to them getting that bell tower earlier, but Team Good Guys slaying right now. Now about to hit 10 themselves and are ahead in shots, 36 to 28.
Yeah, both of the teams an identical experience here. I don't know, this 5th game is just absolutely everything that I wanted so far. We already have the bell tower about to be reclaimed up at the top lane. And yeah, as I said, if Stukov is being played as the solo healer, they always make the level 7 adjustment with the targeted excision taken over the extended range on the lurking arm. So that's something that they have done now on 2 maps and seems to be a bit of a trend for them.
One altar to the top left and one to the right. Team Expert working on it. We'll have an interruption here, but we have the crew coming in for Team Good Guys. Dahaka with the isolation.
Wow.
They're going to get Stukov.
And here comes the hunt. Nice dodge. Great play by Kronos. Gets the Ancestral. Barely coming through. But the Good Guys are absolutely stepping it up here. 24 against 36 points on the core, and they're going for another channel. They get the kill, and all of a sudden, Team Expert is really played to the wall here. That's another 4 shots off the core.
Well, they're going to lose Arthas, but even Raid Boss stepping up there, coming in and tanking the Sandblast just to make sure they could get that altar. Team Good Guys in a solid spot here. Thorough chasing Ariel underneath the tower. Will Kronos have an attainment strike available? Doesn't even need it, as he is able to sidestep and get away.
Wow. I mean, I am impressed. The Good Guys here, screw Arthas. I mean, that trade is worth it. 4 shots on the core against a single hero kill? I'll take that any day. At this point, we have 20 points on the core for Team Expert, 36 for the opponent. Nice combo attempt here with a stun on Hunt plus the combo from Chromie, but not resulting in the kill against Xay just yet. And again, in comes BKB with a drag against Chromie, and good night, Sweet Gnome. Chromie down as we have Dahaka preparing the kill for Cassia.
That was the issue that we talked about. If Chromie is not protected from the bushes that float around, Dahaka will find her and land easy tongue. She has no ways to really actually handle that pressure coming her way. Time trap takes too long to actually put down. Dropping down a Sandblast puts her still, so drag gets easy for Dahaka to hit. And Team Good Guys are just pushing in with a 36-20 lead, and they have a fort they can expose.
They're playing incredible right now. I mean, no matter how this game ends, they are playing so much better here today than they did not only in the first part of Phase 2, but also when they faced off against Trick the last time. That is looking so solid from them right now.
Well, they have to keep it up, though.
Yeah, I mean, this game isn't over yet,
Yeah.
but they still look strong with that lead in a level, in talent. They have their 13 just picked up, and Team Expert now has an entire level. They are still a talent behind, and the next altars are activating in 10 seconds, and that's a double altar. That's not really a fight that you want to take.
Expert just won the game, though. They picked bye-bye.
Yeah, okay.
This is helpful. One, if you hear a Brush Sucker coming your way and you think that you have no way to peel, you can bye-bye before the animation finishes. And 2, you can leave Howling Blast, and that's the only CC that they have from Team Good Guys. So, it can work out.
5 shots fired. Still the additional bell tower playing a massive role here. An anti-hero could have channeled through because Xay was willing to eat the bullet or eat the Chromie damage for him. This time he tries to. Ancestral comes out. Alright, Hunt goes in as Aethero is attempting to interrupt once again. They reclaim the bell tower to the top lane. It's 13 versus 13 in talents now, but we have Dahaka in the mix now as well. Again, Raid Boss with a channel attempt, and this time everybody's pushed away. That's another 4 shots that's going to be fired any second.
Yep, Rhaegar has it on the bottom side. Does he get it? Yes, he does. And there's the 4 shots going straight to the core. 11 here for Team Expert.
11 against 36.
Yeah.
This is starting to... I'm impressed. I really am. The Good Guys have lost a single altar in this game. 1. And that was one of the triple altar at the beginning. Talking triple altars, we are going to see triple altars again with the next phase. And also we're seeing Illidan just simply soloing the boss. You know why? Because he can.
That's right, he sure can. He's working on it now with Dahaka being in the bottom. You can tell that Team Good Guys will be able to actually lose out on that, as the 4 shots will be given to Team Expert when he finishes it. Team Expert on the other side, though, they need to finish off that bottom side, clear up these sappers, and try to get their bell tower back. For now, they just poke and hope that they can handle the mercs coming their way.
Yeah, boss is going to be taken soon, but down here it's all about the mercs, and this is where Stukov again with the silence is going to be in. Uses Shove this time. We talked about Flail earlier, but he doesn't go for it, and the mercs are being taken out. Boss is in the meantime now also claimed. Stukov is just stupid strong against these zappers.
Yeah, he's really good, man. I'll have to consider picking him up more. Rhaegar was my go-to support when it came to Towers of Doom, but hey, I think Stukov may have just made a case. BKB comes in from the side, finds the Illidan looking for a fight, but it was all a bait along here as everyone from Team Expert converges on the area.
Yeah, BKB is just a little bit... He wants too much. He had the problem already on earlier maps when he played on Battlefield. He wants too much in these situations. He needs to be a little bit more passive. But the rotation is coming in, and Chromie isn't here just yet. They're going for Illidan. They nearly get the kill, but they're not quite there yet. Cocoon is about to be dropped, but there's the kill against Rhaegar. And Team Expert is all of a sudden starting to drive the momentum. And they are getting aggressive here.
And it can't have come at a better time. 3 altars up here. They may even get a kill on Zay. The Impale comes out. The Silence also as well on Cassia. Zay, the last one, trying to trade here, at least into Vala, but that does not occur. And with 3 altars up to the top left, top right, and bottom, Team Expert can make a play here to start making the comeback.
And they're positioning themselves extremely aggressively.
And Odin's working on the bell tower too.
They're going immediately up to the top left to try and claim this one. They know it's the one that everybody's going to focus on. Rhaegar is now back, but we still are missing out for another 15 seconds before Cassia is back. But Expert now with a place here. Try to go for the channel, but look at Anubarak. Bad Benny is suffering a lot as Anti-Hero just drives him back. In the meantime, Illidan has claimed the bell tower down to the bottom right and can get the first channel. And we're talking 4 points against 3 now.
Ooh, big engage though. Ancestor Healing will be used to keep Arthas alive, but Chromie damage coming out at the same time. BKB does brush talk in. He's low on health. He has no SMC. Ages will be utilized, but we're going to have ADRD turn around with the hunt coming in.
Icebound Fortitude saving Arthur as now Krona is being attacked here, but we have the death of the Haka already and still fighting over it. One of the bell towers, one of the altars has been channeled, and that's another potential 10 points. Good guys were leading with 36 against 11, and they are just now falling farther and farther behind on their own count since another 5 shots are being hit, and that's making it 10. We are seeing them drop down to 17 points against 11. Team Expert coming back with a vengeance in Game 5.
And suddenly, the game could be in Team Expert's hand if they can keep up with the pressure on the mercenary camps. Already, they're working out to the north here, deciding they don't know quite where their opponents are at. They're going to wait on that Illidan fully moving in. Finally, with them showing on that bell tower at the top left, the Thorough will continue to do so, but this does open the window for Team Expert to move in and aggressively grab the sappers on the bottom.
The good guys, they just need to be a little bit more disciplined when they have the advantage and not try to make the big plays here. BKB dying in the mid lane was the beginning of the end. They tried to force a fight and they nearly killed Illidan, but with them missing out on the kill, Expert all of a sudden could gather another 2 kills and therefore collect 3 bell towers, changing the entire dynamic of the game and also setting themselves in the lead in experience. Aethera Angel up in the top lane right now, busy once again at the bell tower, and he's likely to get this one, even with BKB now moving in on the Haka.
Yeah, that's what happens when you take the Haka and put him in the 5-man and you aren't able to get kills. Illidan's left alone to completely do whatever he would like. He gets that bell tower down to half health, while the 4-man of Team Expert is just clearing what they can here on the Sappers. Another silence once again to control all 3 diving into the tower. Yeah,
really well played here. Curson just getting massive Stukov value on the map, a fantastic hero for the map if your opponent is controlling the mercenary camp, and that's what's happening at this point. But again, we are roughly on the same experience. A slight lead for Expert. Good guys were ahead earlier, but Expert, they turn it around. But when it comes to the points on the core, there is still that 6 hit point lead for the good guys. So that gives them a bit of an edge as we are having a single altar spawn on the map now.
One altar to the south. Team Good Guys reposition up here on the top left corner. I thought they would try to hold their foundation on the bottom side and control those chokes for Team Expert. Now splits the map in half on the right side.
The
Arthas
Haka
comes in. Here's the Haka.
Goes in, goes deep, and tries to go for Stukov. Stukov is low, silence, and is being dropped. Great kill by the good guys, making it work, bursting the cocoon away, and all of a sudden they are again in full control of at least this objective, and will get another 4 shots fired against Team Expert, which is dropping Expert down to 7 points. That was a fantastic move here by BKB.
Yeah, BKB with a big play there does go in, and that one pans out for him, hitting the drag on top of Stukov. Nick had to use the Rain of Vengeance, but slightly too late on it, and that altar will be given away. I do like that Team Expert realizes, okay, without our Stukov, we have to walk away from the fight, and here they're focused on defense.
I really love, by the way, how the good guys are dancing around the Chromie shots. They're doing an exceptional job juking those out the entire time, and it's not easy. ADRD has shown some great Chromie play on the first map in particular, but right now the good guys are very well adapting to that threat.
Illidan gets some Merc Camp in the top lane. We'll keep pushing that in, but this time BKB will be there in time to help clear it out. Should be able to be in a spot to make sure that Bell Tower doesn't go down too quickly. But Athuro is actually doing well. Moves forward, is able to dodge out on the drag, and BKB thinking about healing up.
Yeah, BKB needs to be careful because there's still a hunt available. Isolation is being used. That's great. Ancestor comes in, and all of a sudden, Athero is in trouble.
Baited.
That was a great play here. Isolation used as the rotation happens, baiting him in and taking him, and now here comes the play for the boss. Keep Stukov in mind. Stukov is so important right now with the silence, but those 4 shots would put Expert on the brink of losing the game.
They turn around and look at Ariel. She gets low on health, but she has the healing. Stukov is slow himself, though, and without Stukov being up, no silence will be able to go in for that boss. And now Team Expert is going to have to back on up and take those 4 shots.
This is crazy. The good guys are actually dropping the boss now, and this is going to be 3 points. 3 on the core of Team Expert. The good guys are... I mean, this is crazy. This team has won a single match in HGC Europe so far. Expert went to the Western Clash, and all of a sudden the good guys are just about to win the game. There's a double altar right now. And the only thing that the good guys have to do to win this is claim one of them. If they take one altar, this is over, which means that Experts have to aggressively push forward for the top left altar, and they still have their support down for another 10 seconds.
Stukov is here in 10, and Auntie does make the big engage. She comes in from the flank. At the same time, Chromie is caught. She's unable to get bye-bye off. The drag connects.
And this should nearly be game. BKB going for the channel.
The hunt?
Here comes the hunt for the interrupt. Expert is fighting, but they lose an Uberak. 2 heroes are down, and they're about to lose Illidan as well. Xay is chasing Nick. This has to be it. The good guys are making it happen in an unbelievable upset. They're going in. Like, everything is being dropped here, going for one side after another, and we have the shots fired to the right. The good guys take down Team Expert with a 3-2 victory in one of the craziest upsets that we had so far this season.
What an odd weekend to HGC Europe, but what a wonderful way to finish here with Team Good Guys getting the victory. Again, Keldor mentioned it. They only had 1 win up until now, and now they have 2.
And you know why? It's because Bye-Bye is so useless.
This is not a platform for you to come up here and say things like that. You can't take away from Good Guys' victory by saying that.
Did you see how much value he got with that last Bye-Bye? I give you a hint. None.
He was forced into it, though. The support was dead. So we're going to blame somebody. We have to blame the
You're
support.
always forced into a Bye-Bye. You don't use Bye-Bye because there's no threat. All right.
Team Good Guys, though.
After dissing Tim a little bit here for good fun, yeah, I mean, I'm blown away.
Yeah.
The good guys that they can take down Team Expert with a 3-2 is incredible. And the game that blew me away the most was definitely the 38-minute game, 38-minute game on Battlefield of Eternity. That was fantastic. I mean, it was a bit of a back and forth throw that we had there, but it was so entertaining, and there were so many good plays. And that the good guys at this point really have grown to an extent where they can recover from the loss on the 4th map and put on this performance on map 5 on Battlefield, on Towers of Doom. Impressive.
Yeah, I mean, our bottom 3 teams right now, Team Good Guys, Zealots, and the Playing Ducks, have been putting in the work, and it was very, very obvious this weekend. So again, big shout out to you guys. Obviously, you took the break, you took it very seriously, and you've come back, and you are looking strong. Playing Ducks taking Dignitas all the way to game number 5. Zealots getting 2 victories this weekend. Team Good Guys getting a win over Team Expert. They have done a great job, and they continue to take that depth, that skill that we see in Europe, and they keep moving up. So I just gotta yell, good job, guys, seriously.
And the cool thing is also you still see there's room for improvement. There were a lot of moments where, just from a decision-making perspective, they were a bit too aggressive at the wrong time. And if they just analyze these games and say, okay, we should be a bit more aggressive here, we should be a little bit more passive in this circumstance, then these guys can get even better. And then all of a sudden, everything in Europe is on the side. It's like, it's crazy how the standings are currently looking with this. Because that was not a win that Expert expected. They've been talking in the interview before the series started how they want to go to BlizzCon to participate in the HGC finals, and how they said they're a little bit afraid of going up against TGG because they said, if you pull something off right now, it's now. And that's exactly what happened.
I'm just still in shock, man.
Yeah.
I don't know how to...
I don't blame you.
put it out there, man. What an exciting weekend for week number 6. And the great thing is that we continue here for the next 4 weeks to see more of the stuff happening here, all the way up to week 10, as all of our teams try to figure out who's going to be going to the HGC finals, getting ready for the playoffs that will be occurring. I absolutely cannot wait. But we have to take this quiet moment here and go ahead and look towards Team Good Guys and Anti-Hero here, man, as he got a victory. Look at that smile, man. Lay it on me. Give me the anti-W and all the information about how exciting that was to win.
I mean, I still didn't think we could even win a single map today. Like, really, no. Like, I don't know. We played out of our minds today. Yeah, I didn't think so, actually.
Why is that? Were you guys having some hard scrims? What was the thought process going in?
Expert is a really good team. So,
okay.
Obviously, like, going in with a loss from 2 days ago was pretty tough for us. So we tried to do our best today, get a single map, maybe 2, and maybe win.
So what was the turning point? What really brought you guys the fire to get these moments, to get 3 total wins in this best of 5?
I mean, I think our fire was when we stopped to feed intentionally in game number 1 and 4. I think that helped us a lot, you know, and I think we went on to quite play our game, and Expert was a very good opponent, and it was really tough, and my heart is still racing.
Well, you guys seem very humbled about it. I'm going to send you over to Caldor. Congratulations on your win today, man.
Thanks.
Also erstmal herzlichen Glückwunsch. Geile Sache, Meister. Cool gemacht. So, verdient. And yeah, with that being said, talk a little bit about Game 3. Battlefield of Eternity. 37 minutes. Walk me a bit through how, I mean, you guys had a massive lead, 2-level lead, and a talent lead. You didn't really do anything with it. All of a sudden, everything turns against you. You lose the first keep, you lose the second one. Talk me a little bit through how voice chat at that point sounded like, how you guys communicated, because it really looked like you are at the wall, you're going to lose this for sure, and then you just somehow claw yourself back. How did you guys make that happen? Who made the shot calls then, and who was really the driving force behind that?
I think the precise shot calls on TeamSpeak at that moment were, oh yeah, we got to defend base, and oh, well, we should fight or we lose. So it wasn't really good shot calling. And then, oh, I die with Anu, and oh yeah, I died with Sonya too. And then stuff like that happened. And then the last team fight, I said to BKB, Cocoon Oriel, I leap in and kill that guy, and we did, and then we won. Pretty simple.
Okay. I mean, yeah, that works too, I suppose. I was expecting a little bit more of an energetic response there.
Yeah, some positive reinforcement. We got this, guys. We can pull this off. Yeah, apparently not.
We were certainly on the edge of our seats, but okay. Then on the last map, were you guys happy with the draft when you saw that? Were you saying, okay, we got this? Or were you worried that after the victory for Expert on Sky Temple, they would now just close out the series and take you down?
I mean, the draft was pretty good, like that we had against theirs. I think if they would have picked the Abathur, maybe they would have had a way better shot at winning the game. They could have maybe punished us even better on the top. But we kind of made it work on the camps on bottom, and we kind of put like a lot of effort into getting the bot thing. And in the middle of the game, we all realized, hey, the Seppas don't run into the fort when Sukov uses the silence. And then it was like, okay, game plan kind of lost in that moment. And so we just went on to win the fights because we knew we would win every fight with our composition against theirs.
Yeah, we were talking about the Avatar in the draft a little bit as well, that we expected him to be picked up when they went into Chromie instead. But you guys played a fantastic game there. There was really just a couple of moments on the 5th map that looked like you might fall apart there, but you pulled it together. So congratulations, and yeah, thank you very much for.
Well, not to pull away from your victory, but we got to start thinking about the next match already. You guys will be facing off against Dignitas next week. What do you think?
I mean, yeah, obviously we're going to win again.
That's happening.
So that's happening. So obviously we're going to try our best again. And I mean, if we win some more games, we could even avoid the Crucible. So we're still, like, if we win against Expert already, we might as well win against some other teams. And we still have a shot of getting out of the Crucible. So we're trying our best always to win the games. And yeah, trying to give a good show.
Very level-headed approach, man. Well, before I let you go, the floor is yours for shout-outs to end out our EU HGC on Sunday.
Okay, for everyone that's watching, NA is coming up, so I'm sorry already. And thanks for cheering for us. Thanks for my team for playing as well as they did today. And potential sponsors, yeah, you can contact us at Team Good Guys at Team Good Guys HGC on Twitter.
Awesome. Well, GG's here, man, to Team Good Guys. It seems like they will be finishing last today as they get the victory over Expert. Did not see that coming, but they seem pretty happy about it.
Yeah, but still walking us to the shot calling on Battlefield. If I was in voice comms and playing at that moment, I would just be yelling the entire time.
Yeah.
And it was like, I think we fight here. Like, oh, I'm dying, by the way. It's like not quite what I expected.
Another 4v5. Good luck with that. Let's go and look at our standings after all the matches today and find out where exactly all of our teams are currently sitting in the top 8. Fnatic stays at the top. They have yet to fall down. Team Dignitas at number 2 with a 5v4, but Twitch Esports and Zealots tied up with them in the 2, 3, and 4 slots. Of course, there will be tiebreakers and such. Team Liquid falling down to number 5, and Team Expert is number 6.
Now, we always have to put in they are missing a game. So they are missing a series. They are the 2 teams that have currently only played 8 instead of 9 matches. So if Expert, for example, wins the next one, then we have 5 teams on a 5-4 score. So the craziness of Part 1 Phase 2 just continues, with Europe just being more stacked than ever.
Well, all the craziness continues next week here when we're back on Friday with HGC. That's right, no breaks. We'll be right back next week here. We'll start off Friday with the big one. Team Liquid taking on Fnatic.
Yeah, and Liquid's, that's going to be rough for them. With how they played this weekend, it's going to be a rough match. They're definitely going to try and prepare specifically for Fnatic, but Fnatic right now looks strong. Let's see if Liquid can step it up to an extent where they can actually take down Fnatic.
And we'll see if good guys can get another upset, as they'll be taking on Team Dignitas. Heavily favored for Dig there, especially how they played against Fnatic. But hey, it's going to be a good match to watch.
Yeah, we have some really cool matches coming up throughout the entire week, but Friday is definitely going to start us off with some really good games here. And the good guys, even if they can't completely take the games against Dignitas, as they said, they take it one map at a time and just try and get a few more points in. The map score is going to matter a lot, and they had a really level-headed approach, as we just heard from Antihero. They are trying to get out of the Crucible. If they can make that happen, that's great. If not, then they're at least going to try and get as much experience as possible before they have to head into a Crucible match.
Well, it's been a good weekend for cheering for your favorite teams, and our top 3 teams have been updated. Who has received the most cheers here in Europe? Fnatic with over 3 million. Team Dignitas shy of 2 million there, and Team Liquid in 3rd place.
Yeah, they need people to cheer for them quite a bit, and they need a little bit of a confidence boost right now, because Liquid is still in that same spot that they were roughly like 3 months ago, where they just have a bit of a slump and they are trying to break through it, and then one day you have a fantastic team that plays exactly to the level of old, and then just a day later they start to crumble again. That inconsistency is their biggest issue right now, and it has to be, I mean, just imagine if you for this long have been in that spot. They are probably super annoyed themselves at this point.
Yeah, I think one of the things that Hasu said that really affected me in the Western Clash when he was there was like, we had something broken in our team and we're not sure what it is. And that's got to be such a weird feeling to be going through and trying to find that answer. But when it comes to cheers, so far we have 10 amazing users in the top 10 right now and really helping towards those cheers. Gladman still at the very top here by a substantial amount.
Yeah, but I'm also happy to see a little helper in there. I'm not quite sure. Was he in there last time? Did I miss him?
We saw him in like 3 or 4 different little pages there, but he's definitely starting to become a name that I am noticing often.
Yeah, I've seen him in the individual pages, but I must have missed him maybe the last time that we saw this overview. But yeah, Gladman, I mean, nobody can beat him. Yeah. So that is just crazy. But
guys are all
helper, that nickname alone just absolutely does it for me. It's so fantastic.
And Tarfu, one of our Twitch admins that are constantly in chat helping out and keeping an eye on HGC. Thank you so much for all of our top 10 cheers. Been killing it, man, as of late, and we appreciate all of it coming in. Now, with that being said, HGC this weekend is done for Europe, but don't worry, North America is next, and we here at Europe, we'll see you next week. Have a good one. This is the HGC.